Good morning, everybody, and thank you once again for the kind invitation. And let me say that I'm very happy to be here because I see proper context for ECSEL Joint Undertaking to be here. What is actually ECSEL Joint Undertaking, first of all? Is a public-private partnership on electronic components and systems. Basically, we are talking about today about solutions on many and various sectors, but everything actually is made by electronic components and systems. So whatever you developed, as inside software, hardware, integrated systems, and so on and so forth. And this is exactly what we try to do. And we do it in a way that brings together various partners, various kind of partners. I've seen actually the composition of the audience today, and I've seen public authorities, I've seen small and medium enterprises, large enterprises, and with some of them we have already actually had the opportunity to work with. And this is exactly the same structure of the ECSEL Joint Undertaking. As you can see on the left side of the slides, there are three main subjects working in our joint undertaking. The European Union through the Commission, the Industry Association, and the participating states. We have 30 participating states, 26 member states and 4 associated countries to Horizon 2020, the next Horizon Europe. As I said, we work on electronic component and system. Why? Because it's strategic. It's absolutely strategic. And this is actually also the reason why the European Union puts emphasis on this. We are a European institution, for your information. We have identified sectors of priorities, and along these sectors of priorities, we try to put together people. That's our targets. I mean, if you want to fly in a more secure way, in a less pollutant way, I mean, you do it via electronic components and system. This is what we do. If you want to drive an autonomous car, or if you want to have an autonomous drone, you need, of course, to rely on electronic components and system. This is what we do. And so on and so forth. I can actually continue with examples, including also e-governments. Basically, services provided, public services provided by public authorities. If you have in your card, actually also your ID card, a microchip, actually providing you with a lot of facilities, this is why in that microchip there are a lot of components that we contribute to develop together with industry and the other partners. And we do it in a way that has to be absolutely concerted. Basically, the industries together with all the partners having the wish of belonging to industry associations dealing with us, they developed a strategic research agenda, basically where the industry in electronic component systems would like to go in the next 10 or 15 years. I'm sorry. And we do it by thinking together. And then we work together. Basically, we put, as I said, small and medium enterprises, large enterprises, public authorities, university, RTOs, all together around specific targets that they actually decide. And you see some examples of technologies, applications, where on their own, small and medium enterprises and the actors that I've mentioned before stay together to work and share information and share all the activities. And this is also another element that is quite important. I mean, investing together. Of course, I mean, on the top of research, development, innovation activities made by industry and public authorities on their own, we have to raise the question, who is going to pay for all of this? There is actually this joint undertaking, so us providing money to all the member states. So this is also a great added value of the European Union. So we try again around a compelling, quite actually targeted program to invest in sectors. As I said, we have considered actually the industry as a considered priority for all of us. And projects are quite big. You can see actually between 30 and 60 members. You can see also a quite big number of million euro per project. And this is actually what we do in figures. We have launched call for proposal. I think you are familiar with the research, development and innovation program of the European Union, Horizon 2020. So we manage a call for proposal as in Horizon 2020. And we launch actually 10 calls for a total of 64 projects, more than 2,100 participants. And please have a look at the amount of money that we have invested, 3.4 billion. We are talking about 5.4 billion, which is a quite important, significant amount. And in the end of the project, basically in a couple of years, we will reach 5 billion. And this is also the second, the fourth and the fifth actually figures indicate exactly what has been invested by the European Union national funding and by industry-owned financing. Then we have also this 3 Lighthouse initiative, which are actually an extended idea of collaboration. We identify again topics and sector as a priority, and we try to get together not only actors but program at European level, at national level. So before giving the floor to Professor Donoval, who is going to talk about the Slovak participation in our program, I would like to conclude just providing you a few conclusions, some takeaways, let's say. The joint undertaking is a public-private partnership. Today, sharing risk is the only way to tackle serious problem. And as I said, on the top of the research and innovation activities made by industry, we try to complement these activities and try to have some research and projects that otherwise will stay hidden or forgotten in a drawer. We are able to create a strong ecosystem, putting together all these actors, university, RTOs, industries, and so on and so forth. We create a very significant, we secure a significant leverage effect. As I said, I mean, at the end of the program, we will reach 5 billion euro. Basically, for each euro invested by the European Union, there is 1 euro invested by the participating states, 2 euros invested by private companies. And then, last but not least, this kind of PPP is a strategic program. As I said, is impossible to tackle the question of digitalization in every single aspect of our life being alone. Staying together, joining forces, will help us to do this in a better way, in a quicker way, because speeds and global competition are absolutely crucial, and we want to tackle this in a most effective way. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. I would like to improve slightly my affiliation. I am a professor from Slovak University of Technology, and I am representing Slovakia in Public Authority Board of ECSEL. Okay, I will not repeat the description of what does it mean, ECSEL and so, but I would like to say that Slovak participation is very successful, and we are using ECSEL as our starting point and the push into the international cooperation and development. We listen today here that the industry, electronic industry, is the strategic. It is true, and really this project, which means support of electronic components and systems, is very useful in this field. We are partners to many industrial partners, particularly from the from the countries as they are Infineon from Germany, ST Microelectronics from Italy, and many others. It means we show that we are able to create, to develop some new things, new models, new devices, and therefore those companies which I mentioned, they are inviting us in the new calls, and we can then work in consortia which are over 30 partners. Okay. As concerns the devices, or where we are successful, it means European leadership for ECSEL. Automotive industry used many electronic parts, and they use power devices. And power devices, they are not the mainstream of electronic or microelectronics industry, but we develop the model for not only electrical characterization and electrical simulation, but also for thermal simulation, because power devices are naturally creating a lot of energy, thermal energy. It means that's one field where we are very successful. Another field, there is a environment. We develop the sensors, smart sensors, because they comprise the signal extraction, the transformation of signal, and we use those for identification of the critical points in towns, etc. As concern our participation, we joined ECSEL 10 years ago. Within this time, we solve 19 projects with 32 partners, with 2 universities, 1 large enterprise, and total budget we use was 15 million euros. It means we convinced the big companies and the main players, as I mentioned, that we are able to solve the problem and we are reliable partner, and therefore within last few years some projects are solved and the new projects are on the table. Thank you for your attention.